Top of the morning, everybody. Is Coffee back with some more hip hop news. Got a couple stories to get into, and the first one is another chapter in the 50 Cent Young Buck saga. You know, they've been beefing for quite some time, and Young Buck took a different approach here, which is something that I don't understand why he didn't do, earlier. You know what I mean? Because Buck is nice with the music. That's never been in question. We know the majority of the time this beef's been going on, things have been in 50's favor. Buck's been looking kind of crazy out here and everything, but the man can rap. We can never take that from him. And he's dropped a track, going at 50 and speaking on some things. You know what I mean? I know he dropped a track a little while ago, but it didn't make that much of a splash. But this one, Ashtrays, a collaboration with Drumma Boy, Buck goes in. Link will be pinned in the comments. If y'all ain't seen it, go check it out. If you have, make sure to comment. Let me know what you guys think of this track. But peep it, man. Buck says there's some lyrics being highlighted here, right? And Buck says, Why try to sign me and sabotage me, break me and travelodge me, see me and try to dodge me, thought you were my brother, told you to guide me, put this knife inside his stomach, told you to hide me, Dre, you don't owe me nothing, I do this proudly. So you hear him referencing Dr. Dre there, the whole, he says put the knife in his stomach, but, was it a fork? Was it a butter knife? I don't know. But he says, Dre, no problem. I do this proudly. As we've been seeing Buck in a lot of interviews over the past few months, on this media run. We'll talk more about that in a moment. He says, try to silence me and imbalance me, scared to battle me, wouldn't challenge me, tried to frame me and then blame me. And then in the hook, he's saying, I'm front gassing on you. I'm flashing on you, dumping ashes on you. And then I thought this was a nice touch here. He said, that's at the end of the track, right? He says, that's the part where I wish Banks was coming in. And, we know Banks is a fan favorite of all the hip hop heads out here. You know what I'm saying? Banks is nice. He's just relaxing, living the calm, out in the cut type life. But, we know him and Fifth kind of went their separate ways. And we know there's kind of some, I don't want to say they're beefing, but there's some tension out there between 50 and Banks. So I thought that was a nice touch to bring Banks' name up. I know Banks keep dropping music here and there, but I really wish Banks would get back into the hip hop full time. And I don't know why I keep throwing it out there, man, but I feel like Banks with Griselda would just be fire. But anyways, interesting what Young Buck did here. Like I said, I don't know why he didn't do this before, right? Because the way the internet goes, the way the hip hop scene goes with artists beefing, right? It's not always what happened. It's the way you can spin it, who's on top, who has the momentum. And up until this point, Young Buck was really just kind of hiding, right? He wasn't saying much. Fifth was trolling the hell out of him. Most people ask the same question as me, and you also, why would you sign back with G-Unit after it didn't work out the first time and you find yourself in the same position? You know what I mean? It wasn't exactly a smart move. And, we saw Buck do some interviews a while ago, right? Maybe a year ago or so, maybe a little longer than that. And in those interviews, he was just basically saying, everything's all a lie. 50 started this digital smear campaign against me. He's behind everything, etc. And I don't know. I thought that wasn't really a good look. But then more recently, Buck popped out again, within the past couple months, and was on a media run doing all kinds of interviews. You know what I'm saying? Vlad TV, Doggy Diamonds, and really going in. And then this time around is when he has this whole catfish story. He changed it up. And he kind of won some people over with the whole catfish story. For the record, I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I think this man's lying. I don't think 50 Cent was ever behind any kind of digital smear campaign. I don't believe the catfish story. But like I said, it's not always what happened or what the truth is in this game. It's what you can spin, how you can spin it, what kind of campaign or movement you can get going and who can get the momentum. And I feel like with this one, you know what I'm saying? Buck might really gain some momentum. You know what I mean? Because we know the man's nice with music, like I said, but he was smart about the way he did this diss track. I wouldn't even call it a full out diss track. I'd call it addressing the situation. Like, he is throwing some shots in there, dissing 50, but he's also addressing things. You know what I'm saying? So he's not coming off as this bitter, I'm super mad, I'm all over the place, seeming just like someone who's unstable. He's coming off as being calculated. And that's why mentioning Banks was a good look, because the people are going to think, yeah, look at what happened with Fifth and Banks. You know what I'm saying? And he says, sign me and sabotage me. We already know Fifth's situations with a lot of his, artists ain't that good. That kind of ties in what we were just saying about Banks, so it was smart to go that route. He's saying Fifth is scared. And when he does that, he kind of puts 50 Cent on defense, right? Because like I said, all this time, Fifth's been just jabbing at Young Buck, clowning him on social media, on Instagram. You know what I mean? No one really wants that IG smoke with Fifth. He's going to roast you. All the media outlets are going to pick it up and make videos and blogs on it. You're going to lose. But now in this situation, he's addressing things. He's calling Fifth out, saying, you sabotage me. You're trying to make me look unbalanced and whatnot, you know what I mean? And then he's saying he's scared, you're dodging me. So it kind of puts 50 Cent on defense, like, yo, are you gonna do more than just these IG antics? Are you gonna get back in the booth and make music? Do you make music anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost, in my opinion, like Young Buck is kind of trying to force Fifth's hand, you know what I mean, to get back in the booth and come at him that way, where I think Buck could have some wins. I don't know, and also it just heats things back up for Buck to really get back to the music. Like we said, the man's nice. I've said it like 3 times. Can his career get back to where it was? We know he's got money problems. We know he's still got this case going on. I'm sure he's got all kinds of lawyers to, like, you know what I'm saying? He's got a whole situation. And from his last interview, it sounded like finally he was at a point where 50 Cent, he contractually wasn't going to be able to take his music down anymore. So hit the comments, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think this was a smart move by Young Buck? Did you like the track? If you didn't, like I said, link will be pinned in the comments. Go check the video out. I think this was a smart move by Buck. I feel like Buck should have been dropping disses this whole time instead of hiding or crying on Instagram or lying in interviews. You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you guys think. But moving along to the last story that I wanted to cover with you guys, we're talking about YG and Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you guys saw, you could see in this video, in these posts that they threw up on the gram, that they have this fashion venture that they're launching. You know what I mean? YG's heavy into the fashion. Sometimes I don't know what this man be wearing, you know what I'm saying? But that's his thing. His swag's on a whole nother level. I'd say it's almost coming out of a whole nother dimension. You feel me? But it's the 400 in Snoop Dogg collection, and it's said to be inspired by the 90s wear. You know what I'm saying? Like 90s khakis, flannels, and but with a spin on it to kind of fit in today's style, So real quick side conversation. There was a rapper, I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about. Hit the comments if you guys know who I'm talking about, who tried to do this whole I'm dressing like I'm still in the 90s thing. I ain't with none of this new-ish. I'm too real for all this. You know what I'm saying? But the way Snoop and YG are putting a spin on it to the current day swag and kind of incorporating the 90s with it together, you know what I mean? Which is a smart move. This guy just dressed it like it was 1990. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was like, he makes a lot of bad decisions. But y'all hit the comments if you know who I'm talking about with that. But anyways, getting back to this story here about them launching this fashion line, the 400 and Snoop Dogg collection, I gotta say, it feels like this is something that Snoop took a spot for, like Nipsey's spot. Like this spot was meant for Nip, R.I.P. to the late great Nipsey Hussle. And when I say that, I'm not like dissing Snoop or saying Snoop has any ill will or anything the way he's doing this. You know what I mean? We know Snoop and Nip had a great relationship. You know what I mean? Snoop wanted Nip to portray him and play him in the All Eyes on Me movie. You know what I'm saying? He rocked with Nip heavy because if you recall, when Nip first came into the rap game, everyone kept saying, yo, that's the new Snoop. He's the new Snoop. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is it feels like, you know, this is something that maybe Nip and YG were gonna launch together. Maybe they planned on this. I don't know. But if not, this would be him doing this right now if he didn't pass away. You know what I'm saying? Because Nip and YG had a whole like movement together. You know what I mean? You know, they had the F Donald Trump song last time that I checked. And, you know, a Crip and a Blood, Red and Blue working together as they're pushing that positive message, you know what I'm saying, to the younger generation, how red and blue can make green, you know what I mean, like dead the violence, let's get money type deal, which was a good message to push. But, you know, word was they were gonna drop a whole album together, and they just had a lot of things that they were trying to do together. You know what I'm saying? That they just had a big vision for a whole movement that they were going to do together. And I feel like this was probably a part of that. And, you know, with the passing of Nip, Snoop kind of stepped in and took his place. I don't know. Y'all comment and let me know if you guys think I'm tripping, you think I'm right. Hit the comments. Let's talk. But, you know, YG and Nip just were very, very tight. I actually remember there's a video out there you guys could probably find where Spider Loke is talking about when him and YG were beefing. You know, they had a little situation where they were going back and forth, dissing each other. Nipsey Hussle as SPI and Nip had a good relationship too. Kind of asked SPI to dead it, you know what I mean, out of respect for him, and he did. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you how close Nip and YG were. So hit the comments. Let me know if you guys think I'm right about that. Was this originally meant for Nipsey Hussle? What do you think of the whole fashion line that they're pumping and pushing out? The whole 50 Cent Young Buck situation as well. Let's talk about it all in them comments. New viewers, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned. This is J Coffee Talk, where we're talking music, sports, news, and much more. I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.